For me, cinematography isn't about just making the shot beautiful or visually appealing. What hooks me in with good cinematography is when the camera movement and the lens exactly support what's going on in the story. What does the camera say about how the characters are feeling? Do the characters and the camera support each other, or is the camera just there as a functional tool? Look at the scene from Bohemian Rhapsody. Do you think any of these shots say anything in particular? Now take a look at this scene from YJHD. Do you feel the difference in blocking, lens choice, and camera movement? More than anything, what I think YJHD does best is lens choice. So there's a 60-year-old video by Every Frame a Painting on ensemble staging about memories of murder, about how instead of using multiple camera angles, more can be achieved in ensembles by using a wide-angle shot and letting the scene play out as it is.
I said, oh, so now you're going to be a mechanic. So you shoot master, close, closer, over. I go hardline and go, look, I'm not going to do that because you've already got everything you need to tell the audience what they need to know about what's happening here.
It's a fascinating watch and I implore you to see it. But what YJHD does is quite the inverse of it. For one, instead of using an ensemble, the movie is really about two people. And instead of perfecting the wide angle, it perfects the telephoto shot, going against Samuel L. Jackson's advice here. Well, why is that? It's because one of the maxims of cinematography is to take what's inside of the character and bring it out in the camera. And unlike a zoom lens camera, our eyes cannot shift focal lengths. We see the same things, but our focus shifts dramatically. There's a reason you're not allowed to text and drive. And one of the other instances this happens is in moments of high emotional content, similar to a romantic encounter with a loved one. What you notice in these moments is that all of a sudden, the world melts away and they fill up your frame. Mukherjee and his DOP V. Manikandan emulate this perspective by shifting away from how our eyes perceive the situation to the way our brains experience them. And there's consequences to using a telephoto lens unnecessarily. If you have a shot where you want to emphasize the character's relationship with the environment, you don't use a telephoto lens. You use a wide-angle lens. When our emotions run lower, we are more aware of our immediate surrounding. We see more of what's happening around us. Mukherjee uses wide-angle lens in these moments for the audience to keep them grounded in the environment. It actually works too well. There's never an unnecessary close-up for the sake of variety. So every time the close-ups come, they land with more poignancy. And these aren't any ordinary close-ups with wide-angle, low aperture or medium shots. These are proper telephoto shots. The lens listed officially is the Angenieux 24 to 290mm zoom lens. At that farther focal length, you're compressing everything in the background away from the view of the audience, to the point of it not even mattering. The same way we hyper-focus on our loved ones in that moment. And we can see the progress of every scene's emotions with the progress in shot length. And let me restate, the way Mukherjee does this isn't just good, it's pitch perfect. This scene goes from casual to hyper-focus with just one cut. And you can sense a shift in the energy before even a single word has been uttered. Every scene that ends in high emotional climax starts with wide-angle shots, as the characters are more cognizant of their surroundings. As the emotions start building up, the shots become tighter and tighter, going into mediums as the environment begins to matter less. And as the emotions peak, so do the telephoto shots, with the emotional climax ending on an extreme close-up. And this isn't limited to both of these characters. We see a similar thing in the scene where Bunny informs everyone of his shift to USA. All of a sudden, both of these characters, who were subjected to mostly wide shots and mediums, experience their first telephoto shots. This is their first time they're experiencing hyperfocus in the movie, with the information that their best friend is leaving them, hitting them like a truck. But the secret to success is not just the build-up, but also the wind-down. As with our emotional experiences, once we get over the peak, everything starts to come back into our perspective, and we're more cognizant of everything around us. This shot displays how perfectly Mukherjee mimics that sense of wind-down by going from close-up to a medium to wide, where other people start to come back into our perspective, to an ultra-wide that lets that feeling sink in. And as a result, we develop a much greater sense of connection with these two characters than we do with a lot of other movies, because of camera work that doesn't just tell us as it is, but actually makes us fall in love. Hey, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you like this one, and I'm kinda excited for Ayan Mukherjee's next movie, Brahmastra, even though it's really delayed and everything. I think it's gonna be great, and be sure to like, share, subscribe, share it with your friends, and do drop a like. See you in the next one.